Have you ever looked at a man and wondered what makes him so attractive? It's not his flashy appearance, not his expensive items, or his flowery words. It's something deeper, more subtle, something that can't be defined in words but makes others unable to take their eyes off him. He walks through life with a calm, strong demeanor, as if nothing in this world can shake him. It's not arrogance, nor is it indifference. It's an inner confidence, a sense of peace that he carries with him. A quiet strength that makes others feel his presence, even when he doesn't say a word. He doesn't have to try to impress because the way he lives is a powerful statement. In an increasingly complex and volatile life, qualities such as calmness, reason, and emotional control seem to be rare. Men who carry that value stand out like a light in a crowd. And although they may not realize it immediately, women's hearts are drawn to that light, naturally, deeply, and irresistibly. Imagine you are in a room full of noise, where everyone is trying to speak louder to be noticed. Meanwhile, he just stands there, calm, not needing to speak, but his presence makes everyone turn to look. He does not pursue anyone's gaze, but everyone's eyes find him. This is what Stoicism brings to a man, an inner attraction, not because of what he has, but because of who he chooses to be. A person who lives by the principles of reason and morality knows how to control himself in the midst of storms of emotions. Today we will explore the secret behind that attraction. What makes a Stoic man attractive not only to women but also to everyone around him? How can a man live simply but make others feel the depth and stability of his soul? Let's embark on this journey where each trait, each value, and each action of a Stoic man will be painted as a complete picture. A picture that is not only about the superficial attraction, but also the depth that every woman longs to find in her companion. You will see that attraction is not something that can be bought, nor can it be imitated. It is the result of training, of a deep understanding of oneself and the world. And above all, it is a man's choice to live a meaningful life, a life that others cannot help but admire. So, where does this charisma come from? How can a Stoic man become a symbol of calmness and reliability? It is the strong inner self that is the basis of a Stoic man's charisma. And one of the most obvious manifestations of that inner self is calmness in the storm. Imagine you are on a small boat in the middle of the ocean. The wind starts to get stronger, the waves get bigger, and the sky gets darker. While everyone on the boat is panicking, trying to scream for help, you see a man. He stands there, his eyes looking into the distance, his face calm. He doesn't say much, but every little action he takes, holding the wheel firmly, checking every rope, exudes confidence and control. That man is the embodiment of Stoicism. In life, there are inevitable emotional storms, failures, pressure, or criticism from others. But the Stoic man does not let them get the best of him. He knows that the only thing he can control is his own thoughts and actions. The story of Marcus Aurelius, one of the great philosophers of Stoicism and also the Roman emperor, is a clear example. During his reign, he faced wars, plagues, and even betrayals from those close to him. But instead of panicking or sinking into negative emotions, he focused on doing the best he could. His life is a clear message. Composure is the greatest strength a person can possess. Women are attracted to such a man. They not only see his strength, but also feel safe when they are with him. The Stoic man is like a pillar in the midst of life's storms, making everyone around him, especially women, feel assured that he will never be shaken, no matter what the world throws at him. And it's not just about staying calm in difficult situations. It's about another equally important quality: self-control. At a dinner party, amid the laughter and sparkling lights, there was a man standing in the corner of the room. He wasn't dressed up and didn't try to attract attention with big stories or jokes. But strangely enough, all eyes seemed to be on him. That's the charm that comes from self-control. He didn't need anyone to acknowledge him because he knew his own worth. He didn't brag about his success because he didn't need to prove anything. His confidence couldn't be faked. It came from knowing who he was, what he needed, and where he was in his life's journey. Take Epictetus, for example, a slave-turned-famous philosopher. Despite living in harsh, oppressive circumstances, he never let his circumstances control his spirit. He tells himself that things that are beyond his control, like wealth or fame, are not worth worrying about. The only thing that matters is how he lives by his moral values. Women are attracted to men like this because they feel a sense of stability in them. When they are with a self-sufficient man, women do not feel pressured to please him or change themselves to fit his expectations. Instead, they feel free to be themselves because this man demands nothing less than authenticity. And that stability comes not only from self-control, but also from determination, the quality that keeps the Stoic man moving forward. There is a story about a young man who spent time every morning writing in a diary. In the pages, he not only recorded what happened during the day, but also asked himself, "Today, did I live up to my values? What did I do to move closer to my goals?" That is how the Stoic man lived. He did not let himself be distracted by gossip or short-term pleasures. He had a clear and steadfast direction, like a mountain climber, gradually reaching the top, regardless of the difficulties along the way. The story of Viktor Frankl, a psychologist who survived the Holocaust, is a powerful testament to the power of determination. In seemingly unbearable circumstances, he never gave up on the meaning he sought in life. It was that steadfastness that helped him survive and become an inspiration to millions of people after him. Women see steadfastness in the Stoic man. They are attracted to a man with a clear goal because it proves that he lives not only for the present, but also for the future. He is not just a companion in the present, but also a reliable partner in the long journey ahead. Looking deeper into such a man, we will see a more complete picture of the inner strength he possesses. When you look at the Stoic man, you see not just a person, but a profound inner journey. He is someone who maintains his composure in the most difficult times, someone who believes in himself without needing external recognition, and someone who is steadfast in the path he has chosen. Women are attracted to him not because he tries to attract them, but because his attraction comes from his authenticity and depth of soul. This is the foundation of a man who is not only attractive, but also trustworthy and admirable. And that attraction is further reflected in the way he interacts with those around him. Every gesture and every word carries a special sincerity. This leads us to another important aspect: attraction through interaction, where every little detail creates great attraction. Real presence, the light of attention. Imagine this: you're telling your story and the other person's eyes never leave yours. It is not just a simple look, but a real, deep attention, as if every word you say is the most precious thing at that moment. The Stoic man understands the power of presence. He doesn't let his mind wander to meaningless things, the phone in his pocket, the glance out the window, or the trivial thoughts. He knows that, in every conversation, attention is the greatest gift he can give. When he listens, you feel heard but also felt. He listens not only with his ears but with his heart and mind. His nods, his sympathetic eyes, and his thoughtful questions make you realize that he's genuinely interested in every little detail of your story. This is not a skill, but a part of his nature, a person who lives in the present, not bound by the past or worries about the future. When you realize that he puts you above everything else at that moment, you will not only feel important, but also subtly loved. What sets him apart is his non-judgmental nature, a rare quality in this world full of prejudice and pressure. In modern society, we are constantly surrounded by prying eyes and prejudices. But next to a stoic man, you will find that you no longer have to prove anything. He does not judge you based on your appearance, your past, or even your mistakes. To him, everyone has their own story, stories that deserve to be heard and understood, not judged or dismissed. The Stoic man listens to you without interrupting, imposing his opinions, or trying to give unnecessary advice. Instead, he creates a space between the two of you that is soft and warm, where you feel like you can share everything, from your deepest pains to your biggest dreams. For him, silence has its own value. It's not an awkward silence, but a meaningful silence, as if he's telling you, I accept you for who you are, for what you've been through. It's this understanding that creates a connection that few people can provide. In his presence, you not only feel accepted, but also supported to become the best version of yourself. That understanding and listening ability is also the foundation of another quality that makes the Stoic man special: humility. There are men who walk into a room and immediately attract attention by making noise, boasting about their success, or flaunting their possessions. But the Stoic man is different. He does not need to use external things to affirm his value. He is quiet, but not obscure. His presence has a hidden power, not the power of imposition, but the power of depth and confidence that comes from within. He knows who he is, knows what he needs, and does not feel the need to prove anything to the world. It is this humility that makes him more attractive than ever. Women are often attracted to mysteries, things that are not said but felt, in every gesture, look, and way he treats people around. The Stoic man does not see himself as the center of the universe. Instead, he stands back a little, letting the light of those around him shine through, while he quietly radiates a gentle light, the light of humility and appreciation for the true value of people. He does not promise great things, but what he does always exceeds expectations. Without flowery words, without fanfare, he lets his actions speak for themselves. And that is what makes him different and unforgettable. And in that humility, he creates a space where hearts truly meet. A Stoic man doesn't try to impress. He lets his sincerity, understanding, and depth speak for themselves. With him, you not only feel heard and respected, but also touched in the deepest part of your heart. He doesn't have to be perfect, but he makes you feel that just being yourself, you are enough to be loved and appreciated. And that's what makes for an incomparable attraction. A quiet attraction, but one that never fades. Because his silence, his attentiveness, is a powerful whisper. I see you, and you are worthy of being appreciated. With that solid foundation of respect and sincerity, your relationship with him will be more than just fleeting sweet moments. The love that a Stoic man builds is a lasting, sustainable love that stands the test of time. This is not only shown through his actions, but also through the way he loves you, with a love based on core values and a long-term commitment that is love based on morality and sincerity. When you love a Stoic man, you love more than just the beautiful moments or the sweet words. His love is built on a foundation of sincerity, respect, and unwavering principles. He loves you not for who you are, but for who you are not, a person worthy of unconditional respect and love. A Stoic man understands that love is not a fleeting emotion, but a deep commitment. He loves you with all his heart and mind, not because of fleeting emotion, but because he believes you are an important part of his life. His love is not ambiguous or dependent on emotional fluctuations, but a wise choice, a decision of the heart and mind united. This does not mean that he does not express his feelings or does not love you with all his heart. On the contrary, his love is deeper because he loves you from a deep perspective, from the values that you and he share. The Stoic man loves you not because you are perfect, but because he sees in you a wonderful being on the way to perfection. Women who are with a Stoic man feel this difference. Love does not come from promises or frivolous sweetness, but from certainty, from a love that is firmly grounded. You feel recognized, respected, and appreciated for every action he takes. He loves not just you, but the person you are, with all your strengths, weaknesses, and imperfections. In difficult moments, when life challenges both of you, it is this steadfastness that helps your love and his grow stronger. Life is not without its moments of challenge. There are times when everything seems to fall apart, when the sky is overcast and the road ahead is unclear. But the Stoic man does not give up and does not turn his back on adversity. He understands that life will always have difficult times, but it is how he faces them that determines the strength of each person. He does not blame circumstances or try to avoid suffering. Instead, he faces difficulties with calmness and reason because he understands that pain is a part of life. He does not allow himself to be overwhelmed by external factors, nor does he allow himself to be controlled by negative emotions. It is this steadfastness and calmness that creates a source of quiet strength, but strangely powerful. Women love a Stoic man not only because he is steadfast, but also because he is a solid spiritual support in times of challenge. When everything around him falls apart, you won't see him panicking or afraid. Instead, he will stand firm like a wall, not only protecting you from the big waves, but also giving you the peace and strength to face all difficulties with him. And it is this calmness, this steadfastness in the face of storms, that is also the foundation for his emotional maturity. An indispensable element in a lasting relationship, emotional maturity, a source of inspiration. The Stoic man is not only mentally mature, but also emotionally mature. He does not easily express his emotions in the way others do. But this maturity does not mean that he does not love or feel deep emotions. On the contrary, he understands better than anyone the value of emotions in a relationship and knows how to keep them under control. When you are with a Stoic man, you not only love him, but you also gradually become stronger and more mature. He does not judge or criticize, but instead, he helps you see things in life more clearly, thereby creating opportunities for you to become the best version of yourself. He is not a guide or someone who teaches you how to live, but someone who creates space for you to grow freely. He helps you realize that maturity is not just about facing difficulties, but also about learning from every experience in life. That is why love with the Stoic man is not just about love between two people, but also about growing and developing together. This man inspires you not by his words, but by the way he lives, by his actions, and by the maturity with which he faces every challenge. When you are with him, you feel like you are not only in love with him, but also with yourself, with the good things you can achieve in the future. Love with a Stoic man is not easy or impulsive. Love, It is a love built on solid values, respect, sincerity, and reason. A Stoic man does not promise to give you sweet romantic moments like in fairy tales, but he does give you a strong, resilient, and lasting interest in love. A love that is not shaken by temporary emotional storms. For him, love is not a game but a real choice. He is not just a lover but a loyal companion, someone you can trust and rely on throughout your life. When you are with a Stoic man, you will see that true love does not need to be perfect. It just needs to be sincere, steadfast, and a love that never fades over time. And it is these qualities that create a solid journey from the soul. Think of a Stoic man as a beacon of light in the darkness. He doesn't need to rush. He doesn't need to shout or prove himself. His appeal doesn't come from flashy gestures or polished words, but from a deep inner peace, his ability to listen, and his unconditional respect. He is a man who not only knows what he wants, but also knows how to bring peace and confidence to those around him, especially women. When a man lives by the principles of Stoicism, he is not only a guide for himself, but also someone the woman beside him can lean on when life storms arise. He doesn't need to talk too much. He doesn't need to brag. His presence is enough to make others feel more peaceful and stronger. His every action is an affirmation. I believe in truth, in human nature, and in my own abilities. For such a man, love is not a wave, but a vast, calm, deep ocean where everyone can find peace in their soul. Words of love are not something he says hastily, but something he shows through every action and every decision in life. Women love him not only for his strength, but because with him they feel an extremely precious freedom. The freedom to be themselves. The freedom to not be pressured or controlled by things that are not really important. Men, you can find in Stoicism a path to becoming the most perfect version of yourself. It is the path of self-control, humility, and reason. You do not need to chase after external flashiness, because your charm will automatically shine from within. And ladies, don't just look for looks. Don't just look at what you can see at a glance. Look for men with deep souls who can accompany you through life's challenges. Such men will not only attract you with their maturity and intelligence, but they will also inspire you to become the best version of yourself. True love is not just an instant attraction, but a deep and lasting connection where both of you grow and overcome all challenges together. Let your journey and the journey of those you meet be one that is not only based on emotions, but also on understanding, respect, and stability. Because when you live by the principles of Stoicism, you are not just a man of seduction. You become a man in whom women will forever find security, trust, and most of all, true love. Ultimately, a Stoic man is not attracted by his looks or flashy things, but by his depth of soul, his calmness, and his reliability. He lives by principles, knows how to control his emotions, and is always steadfast in the face of life's fluctuations. It is this calmness, self-control, and deep understanding that creates a special, irresistible attraction. Remember, the lasting attraction lies not in instant glitz, but in sincerity, steadfastness, and inner values. These qualities not only make a Stoic man, but also build a meaningful, lasting relationship where both of you grow and go through life's ups and downs together. If you want to become such a man, start by cultivating yourself. Live by your core values, maintain your integrity, and always treat others with respect and sincerity. And if you are looking for a meaningful relationship, find a man who can inspire you to become the best version of yourself. In the end, love is not just a fleeting emotion, but a lasting, sustainable, and meaningful bond. Let your inner strength and sincerity guide you.